for this project, I need 2 posts that that I can use for all kinds of stuff. They're kind of a one or 2 post catch-all kind of thing. And I'm going to be doing all kinds of different stuff to them, so I don't want to ruin these. And so I'm going to start from scratch. But today is kind of a woodworking day for me. And sometimes I kind of realize, well, I haven't really done a lot of woodworking. I've been doing some videotaping and some writing on Instructables, and this is a woodworking day for me. And so I'm going to turn on some good tunes. I have to hit the Bose headphones on, right? So I've got my ear protection built right in, but I'm also got the tunes going. And then again, I'm going to stop once in a while just to kind of say what's going on. But basically, I'm going to go into the lean, and I'm going to find some boards, and I'm going to make 2 posts about 36 inches tall, somewhere in there. And they're going to be about 4.5 inches by 4.5 inches, because that's it works. It's a number that works mathematically for a lot of stuff. It's like, one is it still fits on the chop saw. That's huge. It's huge that it still fits on a chop saw. A 5.5 doesn't. 4 3/4 might not. 5 doesn't, right? But 4.5 still fits on a DeWalt 12-inch sliding compound miter saw in one slice, and that's huge when it comes to cleaning things up at the tail end, right? So that's going to be kind of the general thing. Other than that, I'm going to do it all on the fly, and I'm going to use some glue, do some glue ups, and by the end of the day or the afternoon, by nap time, I'll have 2 posts hopefully ready that are already glued. The glue is already in process. So that's where I'm going with this. Okay, knowing that, I have the formula or the equation to work around, which is P equals M plus T plus T. Project equals materials plus T for tools, sometimes time, sometimes technique, and then the J for joinery. Well, I've got a 12-inch sliding compound miter, DeWalt. I can handle 4.5 inches high, but I can also handle 12 inches this way. And this board was an oak, a piece of oak. It's still got the waning on it, right? And I know some of you are going to cringe at that, but what I was looking for was, can I get 4.5 plus 4.5 out of it, which equals 9? And yes, I can just make it and probably retain some of the raw edge on one edge and some of the raw edge on the other. I don't know for sure, but I'm also looking at, can I get some 36 inch would be, kind of a common railing height. But if I go to 32 inch on them, then I might be able to get 4 posts. And I think for prototyping, that's what I'm going to do, because that way I can get 4 posts out of this. And I'm just thinking ahead, like maybe these would be the feet, the footboard, the post for the foot end of a bed. And so I can get 1, 2, 3, 4, and it might end up being 2 beds, the foot at least for 2 beds. And so I'm gonna just kind of go with that in my head. I did a I know I'm going to lose about an inch by the time we're all done. So I'm going to go at a certain length that I can get that out of here, still cut off the end later, and then still cut off the other end later. That's where I'm going with it. Time for the tunes again. Listen to a little John Hyatt. For those of you that aren't into John Hyatt, those of you that are, sing along, No need to deal with that going through this, so I'm just going to get rid of that. So again, I'm doing this on the fly, and I'm also listening to Solitary Man by, I don't know, not Van Morrison, but I've got the tunes on. But what I can tell you is that I'm going to get probably, again, I'm shooting for 4.5 when it's all said and done. So I'm going to set the saw, the bandsaw, at 5, and that'll give me, I should be able to retain at this raw edge for sure, and then a little bit of that waning, and the same thing with the other one. So 5 inches it is. Next year's kindling wood. Not quite sure what the species is. It's pretty grayed out. It's been in the yard for, oh my gosh, probably 5 years. Air dried. I measured it at 31. Kind of looking like red oak. We'll see. Same setting as before. Looking more and more like red oak. I'm going to be making a sandwich, and this is the meat. If you're a vegan, then this would be the peanut butter and jelly. This is going to be in between the bread, and so because of that, both sides of this have to be nice and clean to get a good joint. We're going to do the first surface on the jointer until I got it just, clean, and then after that we'll run her over to the planer. So I do the blue chalk, right? It's just really works well. Then you know where you're at. I've got a little bit left here, but I have to be careful. I don't want to get any thinner than 1 inch with the finished product. So I'm going to call it a day. And then it was touching right here, the planer was, and on the outside. So even though there's still a little bit left on the inside, that's okay. Again, I'm going to use Gorilla Glue, and that'll fill that anyhow. But as long as the 2 outside edges touch, we're good to go. I'm a little concerned about that, but we'll see what happens. So I decided I'm going to go to 3/4. Remember, I'm doing this on the fly, but I want a 3/4. So I'm going to switch over because I have to take off a lot of material. I'm going to switch over to the larger planer, the Grizzly. I can take off a lot more per pass. So I did want a perfect 3/4 on this for a couple of reasons, but so I'm getting down there. I'm at just a 0.52 or at 552 what 64ths, and so that's close enough on this one because otherwise it's real easy to overdo it. And then if you notice it's easier on the other one here, but the blue is still showing up, and that was always at the bottom because that tells me that the blue was run through the joiner, so that's actually a clean surface. So I'm always working the top surface to get my equal thickness. Okay, so I changed the setting to 3/4, so I'm all set to go on 3/4. Again, keeping the blue side down, that was the jointer side. Okay, I could measure them, but the machine is so accurate over all these years that I know I've got 3/4.